So ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to do something very artistic. I've been invited down to Helens Bay to help celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Ulster Society of Women Artists. Let's go inside and find out more. So Kay, we're celebrating 60 years of the Ulster Society of Women Artists. I know you've got plenty of events plans. Before we go into that, tell us a bit about the background to the society.
Well, the society was formed just over 60 years ago. 60 years ago in December this year. And the founder member was Gladys McCabe. Gladys had tried to get her paintings exhibited in Belfast with to no avail. So she talked it through with a few like-minded other women artists, and the Ulster Society of Women Artists was born. Gladys, the founder, was very much a determined lady, and she gathered people from a high-notch society in Belfast. She was very lucky to meet a lady called Alice Berger Hammersholt, who had a lot of contacts and so forth, and they gathered people who had recent graduates or not so recent graduates from the Art College in Belfast as well, and altogether they had about 7 or 8 ladies. There's a few archive photographs of those people early on, 60 years ago, and Gladys herself is still alive. She turned 99 in June this year. Now, she's very happy. She's in a residential care home. No, it's a nursing care home actually now in Castlewellan. And her son and his wife Jenny and the family live close by in Dundrum. And her husband Max has sadly died a number of years ago. But in the last year or so, probably maybe 2 years, Gladys doesn't recognise people anymore.
Right, yeah.
So she'll go in and she'll smile at you and there'll be a little glint of recognition, but that's probably it.
And she was very successful as an artist, wasn't she? Her paintings, sold for lots of money, didn't they?
Yes, she did. She was the kind of woman who, she lived in a certain era. She thought of ladies in long dresses and their hair's done up. And she didn't wear the long dresses anymore, but she did wear her hair up most of the time, all the time.
Yes, yeah.
And she always had her lipstick on, and she had her eyeshadow, and she would have some nice, tasteful pieces of jewellery on her. Mm-hmm. She just had a good sense of taste and sense of occasion, and she liked to put that sort of bit of drama into her figures in her paintings.
And I believe, Kay, you had the pleasure of doing a portrait of Gladys a few years back.
Yes, that's right, Robin. Back in 2012, in summertime, I had been out sketching. And I had my sketchbook in my bag, and of course I went in to see Gladys because she was in Riverhouse in Newcastle at that time. And I came in and said, "Hello, Gladys." She said, "Hello, you're looking awfully well. I'm pleased to see you. Now tell me your name." We had a bit of a laugh over that. She recognised me, but she couldn't put a name to my face. But she sat for me that day. As I say, I had my sketch and things in my bag, and I just had an inspiration. I'll do a drawing. So I did a little pencil drawing of Gladys that day with her lovely jewellery and her hair up, and she had a beautiful blue dress on. So I decided that I would put that into a real fully fledged pastel painting.
Right.
And on this occasion of the 60th, I just thought when she's still alive, and I said to her son Chris, I can't really ask Gladys because she doesn't know who I am anymore, but Chris said certainly go ahead and do it. So I've been able to do that portrait, and it's helped me a lot. And I ended up going to see Gladys a lot after my mum passed away. Sort of Gladys became the mummy figure in my life for a little while. So yes, that was a privilege to paint Gladys.
So Anne, we know you for your journalism, we know you for your TV, but are you into your art as well?
Yes, I am very much so. Although I'm struggling at the moment, as you can see. I actually enjoy working on stone, painting on stone. And that came about in Donegal when I met some little girls on the beach, and they'd gathered these nice pebbles. And I said, "What are you going to do?" And she said, "I don't know." I said, "Why don't you paint them?" And I said, "You give me 2 or 3 and I'll paint, and you go away and you paint, and then come up tomorrow." And I did some faces on the stones. She arrived the next morning, loved the faces, painted them and all, and took them away. And later that afternoon, there was a string of kids at the door, all holding these pebbles, all wanting me to draw faces. And that started a thing that I call hailstones.
Oh, wow.
And it's great. I mean, I would do it for charity and things like that.
We have a couple here, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have that one.
So that's my owl, and these are just from the beach. And they're not actually polished, they come like that. This one had a bump, so now that's a mushroom with a frog looking up, and I think there's a little beetle at the side.
Wow.
So, you know, I sort of justify my artistic temperament by stonework rather than on paper. I actually was, I can't say a pupil, but an adoring pupil of Tom Kerr in Hollywood. Wonderful painter, and he did classes, you know, like once a week, and we'd all go down, and he was a great teacher, and very many of the women who now belong to this society actually worked with Tom in those days, so I know quite a few of them, but they were very, very talented ladies.
Yeah. So first of all, Pat, just tell us, how did you become involved in the society?
Well, I saw their work in a few exhibitions, and I liked the quality of it. I thought it was very interesting. Lots of different styles, lots of different media, which I like. I like using mixed media quite a lot. So what I did then was I found out when they were selecting people, because you have to put 4 pieces of work in and maybe sketchbooks. And so I've really been in the society for 5 years now, but I've obviously known of them and been interested in them. But until I retired, I felt I couldn't commit, you know, because they usually have about 2 exhibitions a year.
Yeah.
I couldn't commit to that work really. I had too much of my own work to do. So that's really how I found out, how I joined the society.
So we've got the exhibition coming up in the Crescent Arts Centre.
Yes.
What are you going to be exhibiting on the night?
Well, I'm going to be exhibiting these 2. They're going to go to the Framer tomorrow, I hope so. Each person is asked to put 2 paintings in. Now, if they haven't got 2, they can put 1 in, but buying 2 is your maximum, because space-wise in the Crescent it's not, you know, a huge gallery.
Okay.